Little discussion about gear today. It's a huge topic. I think harmonica gear is one of the most exciting things to discover when you're getting into playing. Equipment can be an amazing help to you as a player, or it can hurt you as a player if you have the wrong equipment for the situation. And all of it is subjective. A lot of this is all just a matter of opinion, but I can tell you this: there is a consensus on a lot of products out there in the world of harmonica gear that can direct you in a clearer path as to what will serve you best. In the last 5 to 10 years, we have things like Harpwaz, the Huffler. We've got pedals from Lone Wolf, the Memphis Mini blues amps. We've got we got ongoing supply of cool harmonicas from guys like Tom Halchek at Blue Moon, who's making customized combs, custom harmonicas, the cover plates. It's never ending. We got these little gadgets that attach to your mic stand to help hold the bullet mic. You've got racks for guitar players. The list is never. We got cases. You guys want to talk about cases? Honer just came out with 3 new cases. I put a video up on that already. There's too much. If you're starting out, or even if you've been playing a while, but you haven't had the luxury to either invest in or acquire said gear, it's hard to figure out where you should spend your money. And often you end up with a pile of harmonicas, cases, accessories that just either didn't serve the purpose, didn't resonate with you, and for whatever reason, now you're ready to sell them and you're going to lose money on those things. This Saturday, I'm running the class I've been mentioning. My good buddy Nick Clark is going to join me right here. We're going to have amplifiers set up, both boutique and a little bit of a discussion on stock as well, amplifiers. That will be partially for demonstration purposes, but mainly it's for the discussion of which small, mid, and large amplifiers are going to be the best choices for you when it comes to playing out or playing just on your own, let's say, in a very informal situation. Here's my number one tip. This is not just about advertising the class today. I'm going to talk a little bit about gear, but I will say this. My number one tip to all of you is figure out your budget first. Have a really clear picture of really what you can spend on a monthly or quarterly or half a year, whatever it is, and figure out what that number is. Be realistic. If you have an unlimited budget or a really big budget, that doesn't mean that you should just buy everything. That's a waste too. It's a waste of time. So this class can help you too. But once you know what your budget is, most of us have a really specific budget. Well, that makes it really easy to select a microphone once I say, hey, I've got around $100 to $125 to spend on a bullet mic, let's say. That instantly weeds out a lot of things and lets you look at a very concise, picture of here. These are the mics that fit into my budget, the category. From there, you can make an educated decision. So in this class on Saturday, we'll go through different microphones. While we may not have every single microphone in the world and every amp to demo, I can guarantee you there will be a lot of discussion of things we have played. For example, like I will have, just to give you a little bit of information on it, the Stage 5 amp, the Harp Train from Lone Wolf, hoping to have a little Fender Champ. Now we're talking vintage amplifiers. So there will be some amplifiers set up, even a vintage Supro, my Supro. And I'll talk to you about what has worked outside of those amps. So I'll let you hear them with various microphones too. And we'll talk about pairing. Well, maybe you already have an amp and you're just trying to find the right mic for the amp, or vice versa. So I'm really excited to do this class. Now, after you determine your budget, the question is, what do I really need? So what you need depends on what you're going to do in your music world. If you're a total beginner, but you want to go out and, let's say, play at a jam, it might be a very wise idea to own one solid vocal mic and one halfway decent bullet mic if you're going to play amplified. Even if you're not going to sing, it's nice to have a vocal mic so that when you want to play clean, you don't have to rely on anybody else's gear. It's a one-time investment. And for under the $100 mark, you can get a nice vocal mic. And I'll have a recommendation for you on Saturday for that. Get a good mic. It's worth owning a good vocal mic. If you're wondering how many harmonicas you need or which ones to purchase, let me give you a general rule. Think about the price point of $35 to $45 US to being the minimum sort of spend on a quality diatonic. You can tell me about the $20 ones that you've loved and all this, but I'm basing this on 25 years experience of playing a lot of harmonicas that were manufactured all over Germany, China, etc. So I have a good sense of I worked for Suzuki too, so we can talk about some of those Suzuki harmonicas. I'll also go through the line of Honors and just give you a very kind of a gloss over of the difference in the models, so that you're not. It's confusing, You start looking and you're like, well, hell, there's 75 different models of diatonics that are quality between let's say Honor, Suzuki, and Seidel or whatever. And I'm just grabbing a random number, but how are you supposed to know what to get? I'm a Honor guy, but I'll be the first to tell you if I think, hey, you might want to check out a competitor that makes a specific type of harmonica that is suited for exactly what you're doing. So figure out what you're going to do. Figure out your budget. Figure out what you're going to do. Are you jumping right in and gigging? Then you might need to own the amp and a bullet mic and a vocal mic and a cord and a mic stand. We can talk about all of those things too. So you're going to get on Saturday a really good overview of various harmonicas, both diatonic and a little bit of talk on the chromatic harmonicas. What would be good for a beginner? What would be good for somebody that's past beginner and kind of an intermediate player looking to upgrade? We'll get into these different microphones. And I'll talk a little bit about elements. I'll talk a little bit about different size shells for playing amplified, these bullet style mics. Talk about those amplifiers and a bunch of interesting accessories that I've come across along the way over the years that I think it'll be of interest to a lot of people. And this event is recorded. There's a $20 charge to get into this class, but you'll get to have that link and watch the recording as much as you want when it's done. You'll even get to ask your own questions. So if you can't attend the event, you can submit a few questions ahead of time, and we'll do our best to answer those questions during the class on Saturday. It runs from 12 to 2 p.m. Central Time. I hope you'll consider joining Nick Clark and I as we go through harmonica gear. It should be a blast. I hope to see you there. If you have questions that you're just dying to know about, use the comment section right now. Let's get some of these questions out there. Maybe I'll include some of these questions in the class. Maybe I can give you a quick answer in the video description. I'm cool with giving away information outside of this class, just as I do on a lot of my YouTube videos. So I'll take some time to answer questions in the description if you've got questions. Otherwise, come check out the class Saturday. Hope to see you there.